There's magic in the Catskill Mountains, and folks who lived here felt it all around them. The Indians claimed the mountains were home to their spirits. And the legend of the early Dutch settlers tells of the ghosts of Henry Hudson and his crew, who roam these mountains still. Around here, they still tell the story of a man who met the magic of the Catskills head on. His name was Rip Van Winkle.
To be the problem here.
Nathan's kite won't fly, and I told him it was because it doesn't have a tail.
Oh, don't be silly. If Nathan had a tail, he wouldn't need a kite. He could fly himself. And so the old woman was able to spin her entire basket of yarn into gold. And never again did they have to toil.
If you could spin that yarn into a sweater, at least you'd be warm.
Plainly speaking, he was lazy. For this shortcoming, some of his industrious neighbors considered him a fool. But when Rip entertained, he always drew a crowd.
There are men, special men, born to do the work of 10. They are steel to the touch, and bet your life those men are Dutch. We are such men, solemn Dutchmen, no need to apply. We are stronger, we'll work longer, and we just thank God for work. Ask him why he does toil every moment in the soil. He'll reply square to you. What else would a real man do? We are such men, solemn Dutchmen. We don't dance or sing. May our neighbor have her labor, and may each day bring
I'd know you're stupid singing anywhere. Singing and dancing when you can't even pay for the roof that shelters you. My roof, I might add. My roof, my house, my land. Now where's my rent?
I'll have it soon, Mr. Vanderdonk. Really, I will.
If you don't, you'll have the toe of my boot applied swiftly to the seat of the problem.
But I mean it this time, Mr. Vanderdonk. I've got a good crop for the first time since...
Crop? What do you raise, Van Winkle? Besides dust, I mean.
Cabbage and corn, sir. And after it's sold, I'll pay you what I owe you and a month in advance.
You'll pay me a month in advance when the Hudson runs uphill, Van Winkle. You have 2 weeks to pay what you owe me, or out you go!
Oh, that miser Vanderdonk. I wonder why he has to be so
about as much common sense as a ghost. About as old as rusting on its hinges. Come on, Rip, play another song.
Play some more music.
No, I better go sack the corn.
Corn don't jump into the sacks all by itself.
Yeah, me too.
You know, Rip, old age has very little to recommend it, but at least I can do as I please.
Sometimes the difference between the wise man and the fool is little more than some gray hairs and a cane.
Oh, yeah. Sure, Mr. Vetter. Well, I'd better be off if I'm going to get that corn to market.
Yeah.
Oh, Rip! Hey, Rip, he's got a lousy kite. You can make him fly.
Come on, Rip. He can make a fine
He can make anything.
He's coming.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, here he comes. Here he comes.
Okay, first things first.
Wow.
You take the kite over to the opposite hill.
Okay, I'm on my way.
And, yes, you two, unwind the string. That's good.
This way. Got it? Okay, good. String.
Huh? Okay. How are we doing over there?
Ready!
Now, everyone quiet. Let her go! Over and under and over, and the back hitch a knot. No. Hold on, Heidi, old girl. It must be the back hitch first, then over and under. Yes, that's it.
Rip Van Winkle, what are you doing now?
I'm harnessing the horse. We're nearly ready to leave.
Do you plan to sell that as a sack, Rip? Or will you just auction it off one cob at a time?
Will you look at that? Sometimes I think that corn has a mind of its own.
We're in more trouble than I thought if the corn is doing all the thinking.
Don't you worry. We'll have more than enough for the rent. This is a good crop. Hello, Franz. Oh, Heidi.
Hello, Rip.
Franz, I heard about your fire. Thank goodness no one was hurt. You know, there is no justice. Here I am with a cart full of cabbage and corn, and you have nothing.
No, Rip. We will manage.
Let me help, Franz. How can I enjoy my good fortune when you have none?
Well, if you think that you can spare it, I will take 2 sacks from the back. And I will not forget what you have done. You are a generous man, but don't forget, it is no sin for a man to watch out for his own. Goodbye, Rip, and thank you.
Goodbye, my friend. Okay, Heidi, you've got a lighter load now. Let's go. How can that be? If Franz took 2 sacks, and I lost only 2 or 3, then that should be 11, perhaps 10. At 48.
There wasn't even enough money to pay the back rent.
Oh, dear. That won't do.
Dame Van Winkle would never understand. And Mr. Vanderdonk would surely throw them out. Rip thought the problem through in every way he knew. But no matter which way he looked at it, it seemed hopeless.
What am I going to do now? I'm going to go squirrel hunting. That's what I'm going to do.
Hear the birds singing. Where do they learn that tune they know? When the birds winging, how does they know which way to go? Hear the wind blowing. Nobody deep and soft and low. See the sun shining, moving real slow from day to day. Well, maybe he's lazy, but I think he's okay. Nobody pushes a river, it simply does the best it can. What does it take to be free as a river if you're born a simple man?
And what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Rip Van Winkle! Rip Van Winkle! Rip Van Winkle, come give me a hand!
Oh, sure. Here. Sure. Let me give you a hand. Say, how did you know my name?
Don't talk, push!
Well, I don't know if
No, dog. Drink.
What's this rock doing here?
What am I doing here? It just so happens that I keep this side of the hill from blowing away. I'm strong. I can take whatever they dish out around here. Howling gales, blind and snow, earthquakes. Huh? I've seen it all. You see that big old oak down there? Nice gal. Well, she'd be washed right down the hill if I weren't here to protect her. What are you doing here, fella?
I'm hunting.
A hunter, eh?
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
What do you hunt? Bear, deer, moose?
Squirrels?
Squirrels? How many you got?
Well, none. I don't like to hurt them. I suppose I'm not much of a hunter, really.
Well, then what are you doing here? Stand fast, little fella. Look out! Here they come! Hey, put him down!
I wish I knew.
From the looks of it, you lack direction, young man. You need roots.
I do?
Oh, indeed you do. We all have our responsibilities. Why, in addition to my regular duties, holding birds' nests, making acorns, giving shade, I have the awesome and unending responsibility of making the wind visible.
It must be grand to be a mountain.
Well, yeah, I think so. But what makes you think so?
Well, you're so reliable.
Reliable? Well, yeah, I am reliable.
And respected.
Well, sure, anything gets as old as I am and stands as tall, bound to get some respect, but...
And you're so serious.
Serious? What's so grand about that? Why, sometimes I'm so serious, I bore myself. Now you take those wildflowers down there. You see them? I've been enjoying them ever since I can remember. Blue and red and yellow, dancing in the wind. You see how free they are. There's nothing serious about them. Life'd be pretty dull for us all around here if it weren't for them.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Oh, those pesky little men. Don't talk. Drink. Some drink. Dame Van Winkle will have a fit when she finds out I spent the night up in the mountain. Well, that's a mean trick, I'd say. Take my gun and leave me a junker. And after I helped them push that keg all the way up the hill, too. No. Oh. Oh. Oh, what's this? What's this? Some kind of memorial. I never noticed that before. Says, solemn Dutchman. Laugh and sing. Solemn Dutchman. Why, that's my song. Grimstead's Grocery? Who's Grimstead? I don't know that store. No. How can that be? Kroner's place should be up just ahead. Oh, yes, there it is. There it is. But it's a ruin. I don't believe it. I must be going mad. No. It's those pesky little men. They've bewitched me. I'm still asleep and dreaming. That's it. Ow! Oh, drat. The inn. I'll go to the inn. Old Nicholas Vedder. He'll know what's happened.
And you must demand your rights if need be. This new government must be made to be responsive to the needs of the people. You there,
George Washington.
Your voice is important too.
Where am I?
It's yours, young man.
What world is this?
And mine. And
Excuse me, please. But does anyone know where Nicholas Vedder is?
Why, Nicholas Vedder has been dead and gone for 18 years, old man.
What? But that's impossible. Why, only yesterday he was sitting right there. We were talking. Franz! Franz! Don't you know me? Why, only yesterday I gave you the corn.
I am a Christian. My father's name was Franz, but he is long since dead.
Little Christian, all grown? Franz. Gone? Oh. Can you tell me the whereabouts of Dame Van Winkle?
Dame Van Winkle? Isn't that the name of the widow who moved to New England and married a tailor?
Why, I think you're right.
Does nobody here know Rip Van Winkle? I am he. That is, I was myself last night, but I fell asleep on the mountain, and they changed my gun. And everything's changed, and I'm changed, and I can't tell what my name is or who I am.
Say, isn't that the name on the memorial marker on the outskirts of town?
Van Winkle.
Maybe. Van Winkle.
Yeah. Van Winkle.
I believe it is Van Winkle.
He made the Solemn Dutchman laugh and sing my song. Oh, I've been asleep a long time, and they missed me.
There is one person who would know for sure. Old Vanderdonk. He's so busy counting his money that he never comes to town. But he's been here ever since I can remember. He'd know.
Vanderdonk. Peter Vanderdonk.
That's the one.
Who's there? What do you want?
It's Rip Van Winkle, Mr. Vanderdonk.
You think I'm afraid of ghosts, do you? If you kids don't stop bedeviling an old man, I'll...
No, Mr. Vanderdonk. It really is Rip Van Winkle.
Van Winkle? Van Winkle? Why, yes! Rip Van Winkle! Where have you been? What happened? Ran off without paying the rent, you did. 4 months' rent it was.
Mr. Vanderdonk, I don't have any money. I've never had any money. But I have learned a new song, and I'd like to share it with you. Here am I, singing till evening, just a moment ago the dawn. Then I turned and looked, the day's already gone. Now I see ever so clearly, there's a part that's mine to play. And there's one for you if you won't turn away. You and I, we have each other. I've no silver, and I've no gold. I've no power, and I'm old. But I'm a king when I sing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Rip, you don't owe me any rent. Your song was payment in full. And in advance. Oh, it's so good to see someone from the old days. Oh, come in. You must tell me everything that's happened to you since I last saw you.
And indeed he did. Word got around that Rip had been a captive of the Catskills and knew a thing or two about their magic. He was much in demand.
About it, because, well, comets are signs.
He stayed with Peter Vanderdonk till the end of his days. And once again he made solemn Dutchmen laugh and sing, and told his stories and sang his songs, until at last there was not a man, woman, or child in the village who did not know them by heart.
And then the mountain, he says in his old wise way.
And even to this day, they feel a chill at the sound of thunder. For they know Henry Hudson and his crew are playing ninepins in the Catskills.